started again?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna go back to where we left off. Let's go back to page 88. And, how many of y'all ready to play ball in the new ball, on the new team?
Play ball.
Y'all ready? We cover a lot of stuff in part one. We're gonna cover a lot of stuff in part two, but we're gonna try to keep it simple. We're gonna keep breaking it down so we can get some insight about it and learn and grow, and so we can come together. How many of y'all believe? I say this to the guys in jails. I still go to jails. I still go to prison. I said, how many of y'all believe that God can take a handful of people and them get their hearts right and them get transformed from the nature of darkness into the nature of light, and we can turn this world upside down and inside out with His power and His love and His way of life? Y'all believe that?
Oh yeah.
I believe that with all my heart. And I believe that God has called each and every one of us in here tonight so we can become what He created us to be instead of being what we became because of the unhealthy choices that we make. What I want to say is, please don't beat up on yourself when you reflect back and review the first half of your game. Truth of the matter is, you can't unscramble scrambled eggs, and the water that flowed under the bridge has flowed under the bridge. So it's not so much of what we've done up until this point in time, but what are we going to do from this point on? If you're seeking some escape, we got an escape route. And it takes time to outgrow some of our serious handicaps. I believe we're sensitive people. A lot of people have been wounded in a lot of ways through a whole lot of people. But I believe this nature is the one that manifested itself through the people that it worked through. I believe the body is a vessel for the two superpowers in the spiritual realm, when we look at it from a spiritual perspective. And something's going to be carried in this vessel. In the natural, a lot of it's carried in the form of alcohol and drugs. All over this world, there's cargo ships that's carrying unhealthy cargo. Some of it's carrying healthy cargo. Some of it's going to kill some people. All over the airways, up and down the highways, unhealthy cargo is being carried. How much unhealthy cargo have you carried in your ship in your lifetime? How much has it cost you? Cost you a lot, ain't it? Twisted, broken relationships, heartache, pain, disappointment. That's part of life. And it will be a part of life. But we don't have to live in that same lifestyle we lived in the first half of the game. Everybody's going to make mistakes. We're human. But we're trying to grow and be mature over here instead of being immature over here. So on page 88, let's go back to it. How many of y'all believe this is unhealthy cargo in the spiritual realm?
Sure, you're right.
How many of y'all believe this represents a dirty spiritual house?
Oh yeah.
Our literature says, burn the idea into the consciousness of every man or woman that they can get well, regardless of anyone. The only condition is that we trust in God and clean house. So we want to uncover, discover, and discard this garbage. Uncover, discover the good. We want to hold on to the good and get rid of the bad. On page 88, it says it works, it really does. We are undisciplined, so we let God, which is a choice, discipline us in the simple way we just outlined. And we talked about we do what we do because of what we don't do. And I'm going to encourage you to start doing this and just see what happens. Now back up to page 84. And here's what I want to encourage you to do. Let's don't let it be about step 10. Let's let it be about taking personal inventory. Let's let it be about setting right any new mistakes as we cleaned up the past. Let's let it be about entering the world of the Spirit and growing in understanding and effectiveness in the spiritual realm. And let's be self-controlled, be alert, get our guards up, and start watching for these things that pop up in our minds, those negative thoughts, when we start looking at things from a human point of view, or we got our priorities out of order, the worldly versus the spiritual. You ever heard that song, I just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in? Well, that's what happened tonight down here in Columbus, Mississippi. Okay, and what we're trying to do is see what condition our spiritual condition is in. On page 84, it says, this thought brings us to step 10, which suggests we continue to take everybody else's inventory. Is that what it says? No, we got to break that habit. Continue to take personal inventory. I'm going to ask you this question. How much better off would each of us be if we could look beyond the faults of others and focus on their needs?
That's right.
And I believe that our Creator created us or fashioned us to feel needed and wanted and loved. And I want to say this, we need you in here with us on this team, but if you're not on this team, you're on this team. So let's keep it simple. Go back to the literature with me. This thought brings us to step 10, which suggests we continue to take personal inventory and continue to set right any new mistakes as we go along. Why do y'all think that it's important? If we don't set right the new mistakes, then we're going to continue to build that mistake-making mountain. And we want to do it one day at a time. Continue to set right any new mistakes as we go along. We vigorously commit this way of living, which is a lifestyle. This is the second half of our game, okay? We vigorously, that means we're taking the right action to get the desired result. We vigorously commit this way of living. What is this in the context? It's taking your own inventory and setting right any new mistakes that you create. In other words, we want to start righting the wrongs on a daily basis. Here's why. We have entered the world of the Spirit, which means we've entered the fourth dimension. When we get reborn, we enter the world of the Spirit. And then it says our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. We got to start grabbing some understanding of how this side operates and grab some understanding about how this side operates. And what I believe on this side is love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not jealous. Love is not boastful. Love is not proud. Love is not rude. Love does not demand having it our way, which is that selfishness and self-centeredness. That's where the ego comes in. That's where the expectations kick in. And if we continue to demand having things our own way, then we stay restless, irritable, and discontented, and that's not love. That's not this side, but that's this side. This side don't want you to give up and listen to the voice of what's the use. This one right here is always faithful. This side over here is always hopeful. This side over here endures through every circumstance you may have on a daily basis. I heard a man say the other day, if you give thanks in all your circumstances, it's like laying on a mattress, resting. But if you don't give thanks in all circumstances, it's like having the mattress laying on top of you. And so many of us don't give thanks in our circumstances because we don't like our circumstances and have no realization whatsoever that we got problems in areas that other people don't have areas in to have the problems we got. There's a whole lot of people in this world not worried about their electricity bill because they don't have electricity. There's a whole lot of people in this world that's not worried about their water bill because they don't have no running water. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We got problems in areas that other people don't have areas in to have the problems we got. You know how many people in this world will love to be sitting in your seat this Friday night, March the 15th, if they just had the opportunity? You know how many people would love to be sitting or have the opportunity to be in a treatment center that you're sitting in if they just had the opportunity? And there's people this night, this weekend, that's had the opportunity over and over and over again, but have turned off of that. Because there's a false sense of security in the familiar. Old places, old playgrounds. Nobody needs to be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. Go back to the book with me. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. This is not an overnight matter. It should continue for a lifetime. Continue to watch for. This is self-control. This is self-restraint. Self-searching. Continue to watch for. What's the first thing we watch for? Selfishness. What's the next one?
Dishonesty.
Dishonesty. What's the next one?
Resentment.
What's the next one?
Fear.
I mean, y'all believe we can throw a bunch of others up there.
Plenty.
But the root cause is selfishness. Ego. I want what I want when I want it. Continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. When these crop up, you know where they're going to crop up? In your mind. In your heart. What's the first thing we do? How many of y'all believe in spiritual warfare? How many of y'all believe in the power of prayer? You don't believe it, I believe, okay? I believe you're sitting where you're sitting because somebody's been praying for you for a long period of time. When these crop up, what are we supposed to do? We ask God at once to remove them. That's a choice and it requires discipline. We discuss them with someone else immediately. You know why? Going spiritual matters alone is highly dangerous. And these are spiritual matters. And if you don't seek the counsel of the godly, you better be careful who you discuss this stuff with, because somebody will give you some bad advice because they're still looking at things from a human point of view instead of a spiritual point of view, and they'll help you out there cutting somebody's tires or something. You know what I mean? Or putting gas in somebody, putting sugar in somebody's gas tank. You understand what I'm talking about? In other words, they don't want you to do battle in the natural. And we live in this world, but we don't wage war as the world does. On the contrary, the weapons we fight with have power to demolish strongholds. And if we don't take all these thoughts captive that sets itself up against this side over here, then these thoughts are going to continue to take us into captivity. How many of y'all believe that? And here's how this design for living that really works. When they do crop up and you don't call somebody and you don't ask God to remove them, they're going to take over your garden. And not only that, if you got it going on and you got somebody, a mentor or somebody that you call, a spiritual advisor, if you don't call them, then you're depriving them of receiving some help. Did y'all understand what I just said? In other words, if we don't reach out when we need some insight, we're depriving somebody of an opportunity to get out of their self because they may have a bigger storm going on in their mind than you do. And by giving them an opportunity to help you, those stormy emotions are going to subside in them because they're focusing on helping you with your problem. And that's what we call the design for living that really works. Helping somebody else is the foundation stone of your recovery. And if you don't reach out to them, you're depriving them of an opportunity. Giving rather than getting becomes the guiding principle. So we give of ourselves that others may survive and rediscover life, and then we learn the full meaning of love thy neighbor as thyself, which is somebody that's in need. And we try to meet their needs, and when we try to meet other people's needs, then we receive the blessing. And it makes that self-esteem come up on out of that basement. And you have some self-worth, and you get excited because you got to help somebody. And you carried a message of hope to them, and a light bulb went off in their head, and they had an aha moment. And I'm going to tell you this, tonight, if you've seen something or heard something in a way that you've never seen it or never heard it, even though you may have seen it and heard it, you just didn't see it and you just didn't hear it. You understand what I'm saying? You know about that, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
When a light bulb goes off in your head, guess what happens to this side over here? It just lost power. It just lost power. Every time you see something, hear something in a way that you've never seen it before in the spiritual realm, this side over here loses power. How many of y'all want this side to lose power in your life?
Yeah.
How many of y'all want this side to lose power in your family's life? Your friend's life? How about society as a whole? How many of us want this side over here to lose all the power?
Period.
Y'all with me?
Oh, yeah.
How many of y'all believe we can do it?
We can do it.
We just got to come together under the umbrella of God's grace.
That's right.
Our literature says true ambition is not what we thought it was. True ambition is the deep desire to live usefully and walk humbly under
Grace.
the grace of God. Go back to the book with us. Are we doing good?
We're doing great.
See, it does good to break it down and slow it down, doesn't it? It gets real simple, don't it? It works, it really does. We are undisciplined, so we let God discipline us in the simple way we just outlined. All right, now, look where we just left off. Continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. When these crop up, it's not an if, it's a when, okay? We on page 84. Y'all with me? Everybody with me? We're still in that big paragraph that we started off with. Okay? Continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. When these crop up, we call on the gardener. Matter of fact, he was the first gardener. We ask God at once to remove them, spiritual weapon of warfare. We discuss it with someone else immediately. We make amends quickly if we've harmed anybody. Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help, because love and tolerance of others is our code, which is a set of principles and actions, and we're ever reminded to place principles before personality, and humility is the foundation principle for the fruit-bearing tree. Pride is the foundation, taproot for the thorn bush. And here comes all these emotional wounds from the thorn bush. We feed our mind poison because we're angry, because we didn't get what we wanted, when we wanted it, or how we wanted it. Go to page 86. Back up to page 85. How many of y'all believe the temptation to slack off can win out? And if we slack off too much, we heading for a collision course. Y'all see it? It is easy to let up on the spiritual program of action. Y'all hear that? Spiritual program of action. Y'all hear that? Spiritual program of action. In other words, we're trying to be reprogrammed by the program And then somewhere down the road, you'll find out who the programmer is. Or the program that's gonna reprogram our thinking, if we don't let up. Because if we let up, we heading for a collision course. Y'all got it? Now look down in about 3 or 4 more lines where it says every day, y'all see that? Every day is a day where we must carry the vision of God's will into everything we do. And that vision is, how can I best serve thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. These thoughts must go with us constantly. We can exercise our willpower along this line all we wish. It is the proper use of the will.
That's right.
So we got the proper use of the will versus improper use of the will. And they in conflict with each other. Y'all got it? So the vision is, there's a whole chapter called A Vision for You. I don't care if you're new here and this is your first day. You might want to read A Vision for You so you can get a glimpse of your future. And the program, in a nutshell, is step 1 through 4 is from 58 to 71. Step 5 through 11 is from 72 to 88. And chapter 12 is from 89 to 103. So the program is from page 58 to 103. And 12 and 12 says, delay is dangerous, rebellion may be fatal. Oh, there's no need you being in no hurry to get rid of this garbage. You don't need to be going to bed at night and taking your own inventory and reviewing your day. You're not on this step yet. You way down here on. Y'all hear all that stuff? Y'all hear it? How often do we hear it? I hear it all the time. This side over here it says get rid of all rage, anger, brawling, slander, along with every form of malice. Instead, be kind to one another, forgiving one another, just as God has forgiven you. Does that make sense?
Whole lot of sense.
So forgiveness is not an option unless you want to be shackled by the nature of darkness. So look at page 86 where it says, somebody said, where'd you get this method of the coaching? I said, I got it from the 12-step program. You don't see it in black and white?
Oh, yeah.
Here it is, right here. When we retire at night, y'all see that? We constructively, and I want to say constructively, not destructively. Not in a morbid way, but in an optimistic way. So this is how we learn, this is how we grow, this is how we take advantage of our mistakes, quit letting our mistakes take advantage of us, so we can grow into maturity.
That's right.
And the first question it asks is, were we resentful today? If you'll bring that word today in it, you'll start looking at it in the day. Well, before you got resentful, you had to be angry, didn't you? And more likely you got angry because your expectations didn't get met today. So it would be wise if we would lower our expectations of other people and start rising our expectations of they will always materialize if we work for them. Y'all understand that? Knowing a new freedom and a new happiness. Not regretting the past nor which you shut the door on it. Comprehending the word serenity and knowing peace. And seeing how your experience can benefit others. That's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Watching self-pity disappear. Fear people that have economic insecurity leaves us. really win when you start putting your faith over here. One of my favorites is you will intuitively know how to handle situations that used to baffle you. Or we can neither think nor act to good purpose, and the habit of self-restraint has to come automatic. Or the way Kenny Rogers sang it, said you got to know when to hold them, you got to know when to fold them, you got to know when to walk, you got to know when to run. In other words, when the temptation comes, you got to flee. I started doing it real quick by the time. All right, go back to the booklet. Were we resentful today? What's the next one? Were we selfish today? Were we dishonest today? Were we afraid today? Who wants us to be all that today? Which is a state of mind, a state of existence. Do we owe an apology today? Yeah, but I'm not going to make it because of what? Because I want to keep giving this side ammunition, because I want him to keep building barriers and keep building walls. You understand what I just said? Look at the next table. Have we kept something to ourselves that should be discussed with another person at once? Review, learn, grow. Look at that next table. Were we kind and loving toward all? Y'all see it? How many of us make exceptions on a daily basis? I mean, even in the lines in Wally World, we get bent out of shape. Somebody eases over in our lane, man. I mean, we get bent out of shape. Somebody cuts us off in traffic or just eases over or almost pulls over on top of us. Whoa, man. Like we've been the perfect driver all our life. Never run a red light, never run a stop sign, never looked off and weaved over in somebody else's lane. Road rage. People die from road rage. People go to the penitentiary for road rage. And it wasn't because of what happened at that particular point in time. It was what was stored up inside them. We was everything but kind and loving. Y'all understand what I'm talking about? Go back to the book. What could we have done better? Isn't that what we want to do?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we must be careful. No. It says, were we thinking of ourselves most of the time? Or were we thinking about what we could pack into the stream of life? And here's the yellow flag, flashing yellow. We must be careful not to drift into worry, remorse, morbid reflections, because here comes self-pity again, stepping up to the plate. We start crying, what about me? What about me? Y'all know about the what about me isms? You know where it comes from? Disobedience. Go back to the book. After making our review, we ask for God's forgiveness. You know what that means? To me, if we're going to fall short on a consistent level on a daily basis, we're going to say something, we're going to do something, or a combo, words and actions, that's going to harm somebody else. And if we don't heal from the harms that we've done or somebody else has done, we'll continue to hurt people who didn't hurt us. Or we'll continue to bleed on people who didn't cut us with that old mouth or whatever. Does that make sense? After making our review, we ask God's forgiveness. And look at this next statement. we inquire upon him what corrective measures should be taken. How many of y'all believe that discipline plays a major role in correcting? What we want to do is learn daily to spot, admit, and correct the character flaws, because that's the essence of character building and good living. We want to have an honest regret for harm done. We want to have a genuine gratitude for blessings received, and we want to have a willingness to try for better things tomorrow. And those are permanent assets we're seeking. And having so, considering our day, I tell you what, go to page 95 in the other book. Y'all just turn that book over and go to page 95 in the other book. That way y'all know where it's at. Sound like a plan? Top of 95, learning daily. Y'all see it? You know how we do it? We review our film. You know why we review our film? To test ourselves. You know how you test yourself? You answer some questions. Learning daily. Y'all see where I'm at? Top page 95. Learning daily to spot, admit, and correct. If we don't learn daily to spot, admit, and correct, we're going to continue to duplicate this side. Learning daily to spot, admit, and correct these character flaws are the essence of character building and good living. And honest regret for harm done. I can promise you, if I hurt anybody today, it bothers me. It troubles me, and I try to make it right as soon as possible. An honest regret for harm done, a genuine gratitude for blessings received. Wait a minute, I done got mixed up. What did it say?
Genuine gratitude for blessings.
Genuine gratitude for blessings received, and a willingness, there it is, a willingness to try for better things tomorrow. You know, this side over here don't make too hard a turn for us. A willingness to try for better things tomorrow will be the permanent assets we shall seek. Having so considered our day, which is what we did in that first paragraph on page 86, not omitting to take due note of things well done, and having searched our heart with neither fear nor favor, we can truly thank God for the blessings we have received and sleep in good comfort.
Amen.
Man, don't that sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, now let's go back to 86 in the other book. Now remember what we're doing is we're trying to let discipline train us. We're making a choice to let God discipline us in the simple way we've just outlined. So what we've done, to recap what we've done, if we start taking our own inventory, we start setting right any new mistakes, as we cleaned up the past, and we vigorously commenced this way of living, because we've been in the world of the Spirit, now we're getting our guards up, we're watching for self-stitch, dishonesty, resentment, and fear, and when they crop up, we ask God at once to remove them. We discuss them with someone else immediately. We make amends quickly, and then we resolutely return our thoughts to someone we can help. Now, at the end of the day, it's what I call, that's a spot check inventory, really, okay? Throughout the day. At the end of the day, we review our day. We recap our game. Same thing Coach has been doing for years. Every day, coaches review film. Trying to learn from every mistake. Trying to teach the players to do something different so they won't be burning up energy foolishly. So we can capitalize on our mistakes. Lessons learned today, carried over until tomorrow, duplicate the process tomorrow, learn more lessons tomorrow, do the same thing Sunday, learn more lessons from our daily activities Sunday, carry those lessons over into the Monday, do the same thing Monday, do the same thing Tuesday, same thing Wednesday, same thing Thursday, and this time next Friday, man, we're going to grow in leaps and bounds in a short period of time. Second paragraph. On awakening, let us think about the 24 hours ahead. We consider our plans for the day, but before we begin, we ask God to direct our thinking. Now I'm going to ask y'all something about expectations. How many days is your day, how many days does your plan for the day go the way you think they ought to go? Then why do you get bent out of shape about it if you've been going on for a long time? We stay tore up from the floor up because our plan, when we get tore up from the floor up, we need a checkup from the neck up. Y'all got it? Our literature said we became less and less interested in our little plans, our little designs, our little world, our little car, our little house, our little job. More and more we became interested in seeing what we could contribute to life.
That's right.
Okay? And then we start feeling the new power flow in. We started enjoying peace of mind. We finally discovered that we can face life successfully. And then we began to lose our fear of today, tomorrow, and the hereafter because we were reborn. Okay? Now, go back to the second paragraph. Here's where motives play such a big part. How many of y'all been bent out of shape today because your plans didn't go the way you wanted them to go? I planned to leave at 2:30 and it was after 3 before I left. One thing after another, I'm not going to detail it out, what took place. I had to run back here and go back here and go get this and go do this and all this other stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about? My time clock. I got down here on God's time. Go back to the book with me. Upon awakening, let us think about the 24 hours ahead. We consider our plan. That word is consider, is a big word. Our plans for the day. But before we begin considering our plans for the day, here's spiritual weapons of warfare. We ask God to do what?
Direct our thinking.
Direct our thinking. Because you know what our problem is? Our thinking. And the underlying deal is our motives behind our plans. And we ask especially that our thinking be divorced from, which is total separation. I wonder why self-pity is listed first. Look what's in the heart of it, dishonesty. Look at number 3, self-seeking. Self-pity, dishonest, self-seeking
Motives.
motives. And a lot of times we just want people to feel sorry for us. And if that's your objective and that's your priorities and that's your ambitions, you have already accomplished that. We don't have to go to any length to accomplish it. It's already there. But we want to rise up out of that stuff, okay? Then it says, under these conditions, what are the conditions? We've asked the creator of all creation to be the director of our thinking. And divorce our thinking from all this stuff. It's got us on this sinking ship. Under these conditions, we can employ our mental faculties with assurance, because that's where our faith is. After all, God gave us brains to use. Our thought life will be on a much higher plane when our thinking is clear of wrong motives. So clear the runway. Get your motives in order. Get your heart in order. And God wants our thought life to be on the plane of inspiration. But the dark side don't. Y'all see it?
Oh, yeah.
In thinking about our day, we may face indecision. How many days do you not face indecision? We may not be able to determine which course to take. Here we ask God for inspiration. We ask Him for an intuitive thought. Then we relax and take it easy. How do you do that?
We don't struggle.
We don't struggle. We're often surprised how the right answers, isn't that what we're searching for?
The right answer.
Come after we've tried this. So if you don't try it, you don't know whether it's going to work or not. Could kill prior to investigation. I can promise you, if you'll start doing this, your life will change dramatically. And sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, you'll be surprised at how you can speed it up. if you'll start doing this. Does that make sense? Now look over on the next paragraph, it says, where it says, we usually conclude our meditation. I mean, y'all go to bed at night worrying about what took place today or dreading what's going to take place tomorrow. That ain't the kind of meditation he's talking about. Y'all got it? We usually conclude a period of meditation when, here's the deal, I want to say this about concluding a period of meditation in the morning. Before you conclude one, you got to start one. That make sense? We usually conclude a period of meditation with a prayer. Now look at this. This is weapons of warfare. That we be shown all throughout today what our next step is to be. And that we be given whatever we need to take care of any such problems, because problems arise in each day's march. And if you look at it as an opportunity instead of, oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened. Expectation. That we be shown all throughout the day what our next step is to be, and we be given whatever we need to take care of any problem. I mean, y'all believe that this side provides our needs. Our deal is to keep close to Him and perform His work well. We ask especially for freedom from self-will. We're careful to make no request for ourselves. We may ask for ourselves, however, if others will be helped. If we can say the serenity prayer again. Y'all ready? No, I'm kidding. We may ask for ourselves if others will be helped, but we're careful to make no request for our own selfish ends. What I started doing years ago at the age of 33, I started praying for wisdom and insight and understanding, and for God to teach me and show me His ways and write His words on my heart and in my mind. And God has honored that. But He honored it through duplication. I don't have photographic memory. I duplicate. And through the duplication, it becomes a working part of the mind. And you become God conscious. And you really want to become God conscious. Drop down to the bottom of 87. As we go through the day, we stop, pause, and pray. There again, we're talking about weapons of warfare. When agitated or doubtful. And here's what I want to say. If we'll get in the habit of stopping and pausing and praying, when we get agitated, then we can probably cut this foothold off at the path. If we'll deal with our agitation before it turns into anger or rage, we'd be much better off cutting this dark side off by utilizing and taking advantage of the spiritual weapons. Y'all believe that? I believe that with all my heart. And then the next statement is, there again, we ask God for the right thought or the right action, which means if we're agitated or doubtful, we're not thinking right, and we're probably fixing to take some wrong actions if we don't stop, pause, and pray and relax a little bit and take it easy and take a deep breath before we say something or do something, because we're trying to run something. Look at that last line on page 87. We constantly remind ourselves that we need to cut the cell phone off. No, it didn't say that, did it? We constantly remind ourselves we are no longer running the show. And I believe when we get agitated or doubtful, we're trying to run something that we don't have the power to run. Constantly remind ourselves we're no longer running the show, humbly saying to ourselves many times each day, Thy will be done.
That's right.
Thy will be done. We are then in much less danger. You know how we got to the then? We prepared ourselves in advance for the winds of excitement, worry, fear, anger, self-pity, I said it right. Self-pity, foolish decisions, we become much more efficient. In other words, we don't want to be miserably ineffective. We want to become much more efficient because we're not burning up energy foolishly as we did when we were trying to arrange life to suit ourselves. And here we go again. It works, it really does. So we do what we do because of what we don't do. Now, how many of y'all are tired of bouncing in and out of treatment centers? How many of y'all are tired of paying a high price for a low-class lifestyle? When are you going to let God discipline you in the simple way that we've just outlined so you can turn your life around, and not just you turning your life around, but you can be used within your circle of influence to start setting a good example. And when people like us turn our life around and a remarkable transformation takes place in our lives, it's an amazing testimony. It's a good reflection back to the life that we're trying to live, but ultimately it's a good reflection back to the God that we're trying to serve with the big G instead of the little g God. Does that make sense? What y'all think about it works, it really does. I'm going to pray that you start practicing 84 through 88. I'm going to pray that you quit reading it every once in a while and start putting it into practical application. Every day, we hit the playing field. Every day, we learn lessons. Every day, we have the opportunity to carry those lessons over into the mark. Every day, we have an opportunity to make deposits over here and to reduce the debits over here. Go to page 164. How many of y'all believe that every human being is a transmitter? How many of y'all believe if you've got this stored up inside you that it's going to come out in words and actions? We'll go ahead and put this up here so we can see it. You can't transmit something you don't have no more than you can come back from somewhere you ain't been. But you're going to transmit whatever you do have. And nobody needs to be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows.
Amen.
And if you don't like the fruit you've been growing, then change the seeds you've been sowing. So on page 164, the word you, yourself is mentioned 25 times. God is referred to 10 times on this one page. So it's real personal, and it's about a vertical relationship with God. That this side over here don't want you to have. It's about a horizontal relationship with your fellow man, and it's about having your heart at the crossroads on a daily basis, with hearts and minds attuned to the welfare of your fellow travelers. In the second paragraph, it says our book is meant to be suggestive only. Y'all see that? We realize we know only a little. It's amazing to me how people that's been in and out of treatment centers and in and out of treatment centers, and they go to another treatment center and they've got a bunch of newcomers in there, and they want to tell them exactly what all they know. Or somebody you try to give some insight to, they sit there and say, I know. I know, and after you listen to the great I know for a little while, you say, well, I know you know. And what I'm really saying is I really know that you don't know nothing as far as how it works. You know a whole lot about what don't work. That's what I really know. And here's another thing that I had to learn. I realized today that I had to learn a whole lot. And I've learned a whole lot since I've been trying to walk with God. But a man or woman's got to learn a whole lot before they're able to recognize how little they know compared to what there is to learn. And that keeps everything fresh and green on the vine. So go back to the book with me. Our book is meant to be suggestive only. We realize spiritual awareness. We realize we know only a little. God will constantly disclose more to you. But you got to be seeking it. Ask, seek, knock. You will find. The door will open. No one say this. Ask, seek, and knock, and the door will open. My old sponsor, before he died, one of his favorite deals. Some of y'all been knocking on the graveyard door for a long time. You keep knocking on it, he'll open up to you. Some of y'all been knocking on the penitentiary door for a long time. You keep knocking on it, it'll open up to you. But there's a better way. And willingness is the key that unlocks the door. Go back to the book with me. A book is meant to be suggestive only. We realize we know only a little. God will constantly disclose more to you and to us. Look at this next statement. Ask him in your morning meditation. Now, there again, you can't ask him if you don't have one. And if you don't talk to him. And I want to tell you this. If you're having a problem with God, why don't you just try this? God, I really don't know you. I've heard a lot about you. Some of the things I've heard, I just don't like. But sometimes you can hear something that's not of God, okay? And you don't have to come under the authority of somebody else's judgment. But that old country boy that come down to Columbus, Mississippi tonight, he seemed to have a relationship with you. And I want to pray to his God. And you start praying. I'm going to say this about God of your understanding and your conception of God and your faith in God. I didn't understand choose your own conception of God. I didn't understand you can have your own understanding of God or you can have your own faith in God. I didn't understand it until I put it on a worldly perspective, and I got 3 daughters and 1 son. Each one of them have a different conception of death. Each one of them have a different understanding of death. Each one of them have different faith in death. But I'm still dead, and they still my children. And the same principle applies to our Heavenly Father.
Amen.
Clear recognition of what and who we really are. He is the Father, and we are His children. He is the principal, and we are His agents. Y'all got it? That's our DNA. Ask Him in your morning meditation what you can do. Here I am, God, send me. Let me go. What you can do each day for the man or the woman or the child who is still sick. The answers will come if your own spiritual house is in order. But obviously, you cannot transmit something you ain't got. But you're going to transmit what you do have. So the next 3 words is the big word. See to it. You see to it. Real purpose. Your mama can't see to it. Your daddy can't see to it. Or no other human being can see to it. It's real purpose. You see to it that your vertical relationship with God is right, because that's what this deal is all about. Yes. And great events will come to pass for you and countless others. That's the vertical and the horizontal. And if our hearts and minds are attuned to the welfare of others, we're on the right track.
That's right.
Said this is a great pack for us. So abandon yourself to God as you understand God. Admit your fault to Him and to your fellows. Clear away the wreckage of your past
That's right.
and join us. Now it says clear away the wreckage of your past, give freely of what you find. You're going to find some undreamed reward. Peace of mind. And join us. We shall be with you in the fellowship. Y'all see that capitalized? Of the Spirit, capitalized.
Yeah.
And you will surely meet some of us as you trudge the road of happy destiny. And that's what that means is we want to enjoy the journey as we go to the final destination. And every day that goes by, we're one day closer to D-Day. Y'all got it? May God bless you and keep you until then. And so here's what I want to do to close the meeting now. I want you to go to page 99 in the little book. How many of y'all are willing to play? Y'all ready to play on this team? I want to hear y'all say, here I am, God, send me.
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 One more time, say it like you mean it. Here I am, God, send me. Page 99. Where it says, Lord, make me. That's a process. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, you're going to bring something to the table, and we brought the bread of life to the table tonight. How many of y'all believe that?
Amen.
So we sat around these tables, and we've had the opportunity to partake of the bread of life. And I want to be a peacemaker. I want to sow seeds of peace, weapons of warfare, nature of darkness, nature of light in this prayer. What I want y'all to do is repeat this prayer after me like a marriage ceremony. Because that's really what it is. It's a commitment. Y'all ready? Repeat it after me like you were doing your marriage vows. Lord, make me a channel of thy peace.
Lord, make me a child of thy peace.
That where there is hatred,
Where there is hatred,
I may bring love.
I may bring love.
That where there is wrong,
Where there is wrong,
I may bring the spirit of forgiveness.
I may bring spirit of forgiveness.
That where there is discord,
Where there is discord,
I may bring harmony.
I may bring harmony.
Where there is error,
Where there is error,
I may bring truth.
I may bring truth.
That where there is doubt,
Where there is doubt,
I may bring faith.
I may bring faith.
That where there is despair,
Where there is despair,
I may bring hope.
I may bring hope.
That where there is shadow,
Where there is shadow,
I may bring light.
I may bring light.
That where there is sadness,
Where there is sadness,
I may bring joy.
I may bring joy.
Lord, grant that I may seek to comfort
To comfort
and to be comforted,
and to comfort,
to understand
to understand,
and to be understood,
to be understood,
to love and to be loved.
and to be loved.
Here I am, God.
Here I am, God.
Send me.
Send me.
God bless you.
God bless you.